What the? Ah! Got him. All right, so because the movie Pixels now exists for some reason, and we can't take that back, I figured I would pick 5 video games that are represented in that film and pick 1 fact about them. And that's what you're about to watch right now, because this is 5 facts that you might not know about old school video games. Number 1. PacMan. So back in the 70s, the arcade and video game culture primarily consisted of dudes. Could you imagine a world where guys were the ones who just sat around and played video games? Things sure have changed. All right, so they haven't changed all that much. I was just making a joke there, I understand, but I also understand that a lot of girls like video games and play video games, and that's fine and that's all dandy. And that is probably very much thanks to the video game PacMan. The Japanese game designer Teru Iwatani, if I messed up that name, I'm sorry. What do I look like? A linguist? Am I a linguist? Let me check. I'm not. I'm being told I'm not a linguist. He looked in the mirror one day and he said, you know what? The whole world of video games is dirty and smelly and full of guys, and they deserve a better kind of video game. I'm gonna give it to him. All right, so I'm paraphrasing a little bit on that, but the sentiment is there, and he did just that. He made Pac-Man, a little guy that was in the shape of pizza, and his name was Puckman, which they changed to Pac-Man. Can't remember why. I read it while I was looking up these facts. Even though the game is loved and played by guys and girls and every gender alike, it was the first coin-operated arcade game that had a significant female fan base. Number 2, Donkey Kong. Since the dawn of video games, programmers, the guys who, you know, make the video games, have often put some sort of signature or Easter egg inside of the game. Kind of like in Day of the Tentacle, whenever you can go into that closet and play Maniac Mansion. It's a great game, you should check it out. Okay, it's like how every Apple computer has Tetris hidden inside of it. I'll get into Tetris later. Sometimes they're hidden like right out in the open, and other times they are deep within the code. Donkey Kong is no exception. The programmer of Donkey Kong created a way that if you did these certain stupidly difficult tasks, you could actually see his signature in it, and nobody discovered this until 25 years later, at which point the programmer actually had forgotten that he even put it in there. Seems like a lot of work for such little reward, but it's still neat that it's there. Number 3, Centipede. The game Centipede was created by none other than Donna Bailey.
Whoa, Kevin, are you telling me that a girl named Donna created the game Centipede?
Who said anything about Donna being a girl's name? It doesn't have to be. Just so happens that this actually is a female named Donna, and she was the genius behind the game Centipede. She actually started off programming for Government Motors, known as General Motors at the time, and then whenever she found out that the code that they use for programming their assembly line is the same that they use in Atari, she went and applied for a job. When she began at Atari in 1980, she was the only female in Atari's coin-op division. There she developed the game Centipede because she felt like Atari needed more games that weren't just shoot-'em-up games. And a bug crawling through space eating stuff seems innocent enough. Number 4, Space Invaders, the first-person shooter. And like its successors after it, Wolfenstein, Call of Duty, other games that are exactly like that game, Space Invaders enjoyed a lot of success, which came with a lot of controversy. It is said that whenever the arcade game came out in Japan, the 100 yen coin became extremely rare. Japan had to start minting more of them because so many of them were hidden inside the arcades. I don't know. I mean, it could be real. You would think that if there was that much money inside of them that they would just take it to the bank every night and get their money. Let me give you a different fact. In the United States, whenever Space Invaders was out, people were afraid that they were causing juvenile delinquency. Of course they did. So much so that the town of Mesquite in Texas attempted to pass a law saying that people under the age of 17 couldn't play Space Invaders in public at the arcade without adult supervision. Because making a law saying that only grown men can hang out at the arcade, that really puts my mind at ease. Well, the law was challenged by Aladdin's Castle amusement chain, and it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, who overturned it and said, nope, Aladdin's Castle, the kids can come and play video games, and you, the town of Mesquite, do something real with your life. And number 5, my personal favorite, Tetris. Hey girl, I'm a line in Tetris because I'm the one you've been waiting for. It's a great game, isn't it? From Nintendo all the way up to playing Tetris Battle on Facebook, this game has been the one thing that's kept me from greatness because I spend so much time playing it. Probably the reason why I didn't get this facts episode out before the movie Pixels came out. And I'm not the only one whose greatness was held back because of the game Tetris. Probably millions of people out there every day playing Tetris and not working. Okay, boss? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about the creator of Tetris, Alexei Pajitnov. off. I definitely botched up his name, so I won't say it again. I'm just gonna call him Alexei. That's a guy. Okay? Really challenging your gender stereotypes on this episode. Okay, so he was a Russian programmer working for the Academy of Science Computer Center in Soviet Russia, where you don't play games about building walls, you build games about building walls. And then you have the government steal that from you and sell it to Nintendo, and you not making a dime, which is what happened to Alexei. However, in 1996, Alexei, having come to America, co-founded a company called the Tetris Company, and they now hold the patent for the game Tetris, which is great because now they go around and destroy anybody who steals their copyright, sticking it to the little programmers. You know what, little programmers? Come up with your own game, okay? Like Alexei did. Good for him. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Movie Facts. I hope you enjoyed. Normally, I don't talk about video games, I talk about movies, and since this was loosely based on movies, hey, if game theory can do film theory, why can't I? And speaking of other channels that aren't game or film theory, if you liked this video and like how hilarious I was in it, or just are like, man, this guy is so easy to make fun of, I want to watch his videos every day and make fun of him every day, then you can check out my other channel, youtube.com/SayGoodnightKevin. The link is right over there. Then check out other episodes that I have on this channel. That's about all I gotta say, I guess. Until next time, I'm Kevin, and those are the facts.